Everyone. This is Good Buddy, the Gig Man, back at you as promised. Today, I want to talk about different options when it comes to auto transport. Um, a few companies that I'm coming to mind to, and once again, these are pretty much international companies that I use from state to state. I mean, if that's what you care to do, you care to get out of state, or you care to drive in state. But nevertheless, I'm going to name and put in the comment box as well some of the companies. All right. First one up is PARS Transportation, PARS Transportation. Right. I think the PARS acronyms don't quote me 100%. Is Professional Auto Relocators. Right. That's what they do. We move cars from point A to point B. That is what we do essentially. All right. Next one up is Nexus, NEX Auto. All right. The next one up is Professional Drivers. Professional Drivers. And lastly is a company, Amerifleet, which is also known as Acertus. So Amerifleet is AMERI Fleet, FLEET. And the company that bought Amerifleet is ACERTUS, Acertus. So, a few things I'm going to talk about. I've been kind of out of the wind. It's been extremely busy on the transportation side, even with my driving ride share as well, getting through the 4th of July holiday stuff. I kind of got through that, made a pretty decent amount of money. I'm loving that. But I did want to share with you guys when it comes to doing vehicle relocation, transporter, auto, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? They got a few different names for what we do. However, when it comes to picking a company, right? Here's a philosophy that I got. All right. The philosophy when it comes to being an independent contractor, gig worker, as you would, because that's essentially what the title that you hold when you deal with these different companies. Now, the beauty of it is in lines of, I think of Coca-Cola. Excuse me, just cola, right? If you have cola, you have a multitude of companies: Pepsi Cola, Coca Cola. You have Wildwood. You have different companies out here that all make cola, and they claim that they're the best, right? Great. That's the analogy that I have when it comes to doing um, ride share, of course, and then obviously, moving vehicles, being a car transporter. So when I transport, I use multiple companies, even if they're in competition with each other. One, it keeps all of them honest, right? So when one don't pay well, or one company runs slow, or I'm not getting any hits or anything from that company, I have another company as well that's right on deck, that I can pick up some orders from. If you're traveling from one state to another state, right, and you need to get back to the state that you want to get to, right? When you're in a position like that, you want to be able to have a multitude of different options to find you a ride to leave that city or state that you're leaving from, right? So if I'm in Arizona, right? So if I take a ride from Arizona to Brooklyn, and I get to now, mind you, I'm going to figure this be out. All this stuff, this process is going to be all figured out before I even take the initial run or anything that I do. I don't just move and hope things happen. I actually plan ahead of time. So if I got to ride from Phoenix to Brooklyn, all right. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm going to find out how long it's going to take me to get to Brooklyn, for one. And then number two, when it's time to leave Brooklyn, what are my options of getting out of Brooklyn to head back to Phoenix, right? So when you have a multitude of different companies and the apps that you run, you have an opportunity to go through those apps and say, hey, look, send a bird call out. Hey, I'm going to be in Brooklyn next week, Wednesday. I'm looking for a ride out of there. So you call your dispatchers, you call everybody, whoever you got to call, and you say, hey, look, I'm looking to get out of there. All right. Another beauty of it, like I said before, it keeps all of them honest, right? When it comes to pay. And I'm no stranger. I don't hold no punches. They know I drive and ride for the competition, so to speak. So it keeps them honest as well. Another beauty of being an independent contractor is just as much as they can get rid of me, I can get rid of them. That's the philosophy, that I hold as well when it comes to being an independent contractor. And also, when it comes to taking on jobs, I don't hold any expense at negotiating my jobs. Just because they give me a price doesn't necessarily mean that that's the price that I'm riding with. And by all means, and just like going to the store and you go in the shop and somebody, you ask for a price and it's too expensive for you or whatever. If you don't want it, they simply put it back on the shelf. It doesn't make me no difference, and that's the power of driving for a multitude of different companies as well, is that you don't have to, take, just any old thing that they give you. So anytime I see rides in the app, I already put together a package, right? If I got 4 or 5 cars that I'm moving, great. Then I'm putting together a package with a price. This is the price that I'm doing it. I'll take one. You give me all of them or you give me none of them. That's just how it works, because I'm scheduling these things in, et cetera, right? The last minute is going to cost you. You want a car move, you don't name the price. I name the price. You name that you have a car that you want to move last minute, and they maybe say $100. I'm saying $300, right? Because I know at the end of the day, you want to get that stuff moved off your books. A, B, I know that the money is there. I've worked at that capacity, and I do know behind the scenes stuff that, that allows me to know how the money moves when it comes to the vehicles and so on. One of the things that I want to share with you guys, when it comes to picking a company, right? You're going to have your companies that, you're going to drive for multiple companies, right? But you're going to have your one company that you may lean on the most, right? Which in my case is PARS. PARS keep you busy. However, they make you wait on your money a little bit longer than usual. But they're slow, but they're for sure. I will give them that. They don't screw up on your money or anything to that effect. I think that window is up to like 30 days. So I'm not going to go through every single company. I'm just going to use PARS as an example to kind of tell you kind of like how the fleet companies kind of move, pay wise, and so on. PARS is probably one of, I want to say one or two. It's two other companies out of the 4 that I actually gave you guys. PARS is one of the companies that you have to fork everything. And then you invoice, and then they, pay you the invoice up to within 30 days, right? They do have different things. I'm going to actually go over one of the apps, right, on another video, right? Literally, I'm going to go through and do a walkthrough on a car. I'm going to actually go through the app and all that stuff, so you'll kind of know all the ins and out about the app and so on. But one of the things that you do have to determine when it comes to picking those different companies and sort of thing is where you stand. What do you want to do? Are you want to take on long runs? You want to take on short runs? You want to take on repair orders? Do you want to take on customer to customer? Like, what do you want to do? You have to decide which sort of jobs do you want to take on, whatever you're comfortable with. I know I met some drivers that can't drive long distances. They get to crashing. So you probably have to focus in on short distance runs, right? And that's one of the beauties that I do when I do short distance run. I package runs. I'm doing 8 or 9, 10 of them at a time if I could. That's the ideal way of looking at this. So when I move, I'm not moving for $40-$50. I'm not moving just for $100. I'm moving for a multitude of money, and I bust my butt to make sure that this stuff gets done. So you definitely want to be able to, go through and kind of find out what fits your family situation and so on. You have to establish the different types of runs. We have the regular runs where you're just picking a car up from from a customer, and you're bringing it back to storage or something. It's going to sit. Then you may have a run where you're taking a vehicle from storage and it's going to a customer. And in many cases, you have to prep the vehicle before you actually get it to the customer. This can entail putting gas in it. This can entail repairs. This can entail details. This can entail MVP. When I say MVP, Lord have mercy, DMV services, that sort of thing. Something like that can happen. Or you have specialty orders where you have to, grab some things out of a vehicle and, mail it all to a customer, which I got one of those orders. We have DOT runs, Department of Transportation runs. Those are runs that's under. It's not, you got like regular runs, and then you have CDL runs where you drive big trucks. There's an in between which is called DOT, right? So if you want to make yourself more viable, because most of those DOT runs, those are kind of cool runs. They pay a little bit more, but it's not a whole lot of DOT people out here. So if you want to bring some value to yourself, go to your nearest DOT office, Google or whatever it is. They'll go ahead and do the process. I forgot how much the process is. It's been so long ago, but you want to be down. I don't know, $200 or $300 or something like that. You see a doctor, they check you out, all that old kind of stuff, and it's just make sure that you're fit. Visually, you can see, you can hear, all that other kind of stuff. So that's good to have under your belt. CDLs is also good to have under your belt as well. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. One of the benefits to taking a CDL versus a DOT run is that when you're just a regular driver, you're at your own command on the highway, right? So if I wanted to drive from Phoenix to New York nonstop, I can do so. But when you're doing a DOT run or a CDL run, you have to stop. You have to adhere to the DOT rules. Now, do I encourage anyone to go drive 3 or 4 days straight? Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, you have the power to do so if you choose to, if you're under pressure, if time is an issue or anything to that effect. So they want to share that with you. And like I said, when it comes to picking a transport company, all right, you're going to have a dispatcher, okay? I believe I have unique relationships with dispatchers and that sort of thing. I believe, my philosophy is this, especially as an independent contractor, work for yourself, which I'm going to also throw a little tip in at the end of this video that's going to tell you how to move your money, all right? But anyways, the philosophy that I use when I'm dealing with them, all right, is we're a team and we're working together to move a vehicle, right? I don't work for you. You don't work for me. Get it? We work together to move vehicles. And that's the sort of relationship that I have. And I have no rebuttals whatsoever to convey that. You know what I mean? Hey, we're a team together. We're going to do this. It's going to be some screw ups along the way. People are going to make mistakes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But by all means, just know that I can pull a plug just as fast as you can pull a plug, right? Now, once you establish that and everybody's on the same page, then, it just harmonizes. It works better. You're not just working with a company and you're working with a dispatcher that think they just can talk to you any old kind of way. You know what I mean? There's going to be a level of respect, and that's going to be on both ends. I'm going to show you a level of respect. They're going to show me a level of respect. You're going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. We're going to work with each other to get cars moved, right? I don't glorify anyone, dispatcher on one or another or anything to that effect. However, there are some dispatchers in different companies that I have a better relationship with than another company, right? So you use that to your advantage. You become the go-to guy, which I have for a while. I done seen many of people coming in and out of this profession, right? I done moved well over $1 million worth of vehicles. Well over them, all right? I done moved everything from traditional cars, SUVs, box trucks, police vehicles, emergency vehicles, motorcycles, campers, so on and so on. They have different types of things that you can relocate. There also is an option for you to have your own trailer. However, there's a special entity that you would have to deal with that company, meaning that you would pick up a car and you say, hey, I just want to pull the car with my trailer. Great, no problem. Generally, those jobs pay more money, which I will be doing a video series that actually talks about the money of transportation side of things, right? There is money in this profession. Right away, is there as a driver, especially independent contractor, they will make it known that you're an independent contractor, right? You work on your own, you figure out your own beat of your drum. That's why I started this training video piece here for the new drivers of the world. But just please share the information, right? Because I get it. Ultimately, this sort of opportunity worked well for me. My story is me and my wife, we had a special need kiddo. And, he's 8 years old now, Mark Jr., rah, rah. We actually started a nonprofit as well. I'll leave that information in there. If you guys want to pull it up, look it up, or even want to donate it to or volunteer, definitely shoot at us. But the moral of the story is that we had to take on gig work. Gig work is the deal. It works for us, especially when you have a kiddo that can ring a bell at any given time where it requires both of us to be there, right? So when I get a phone call, I'm not stuck in an 8-hour shift. I'm actually, just about an hour or two away at worst case scenario because I choose to stay right in state. Now, have I done transporting to different states? Absolutely. I think I've been to, 50 states, I've been to at least 40 of them. I've been to a lot of different states, or through them, connected to them, through them, around them, or whatever you want to call it, right? I've been all around, and it was a great experience, and I learned a whole lot. And that's what my employee is, today, and even doing this video series is sharing tips, big nuggets, that sort of thing that can help drivers out. I did already put a video together talking about the different tools of the trade. All right. So you guys can hone in, go to my YouTube channel and look at the tools of the trade. And it got a couple other videos there as well, even some on rideshare that I'm doing now. All of this is new. It's been highly requested. Like, I talk to a multitude of people. They say, hey, man, Mark, you got a great deal of experience, which comes to the tune of about 9 years of doing this, right? I found some success in it, right? I had an opportunity to live, and do some good things and see a lot of great places and work for a lot of different companies. Some of them was good, some of them was not good, right? So, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I will be putting some information in the comment box as well. Other than that, look forward to the next video. I will be talking about the money, and I promise y'all, once I get a little dry spell, because this is transportation season, right? I'm moving 20, 30 cars at a time. But I will be leaving all that information in there. And other than that, that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you much.